want to make sure that I acknowledge the sponsor of the show, Tiege Hanley, because Tiege Hanley sent me this new pack. They sent me the new Tiege pack, so I just literally pulled the paper out, got it out of the mail, and I started going through it, and I got a little bit more excited than I should. You know what I'm saying? So they did send me the Tiege pack, and I don't even know what this is yet. So I'm assuming this is what you get when you first order your Tiege, and I don't know what this is. Oh, this is dope. This is absolutely dope. Is this a nail kit? Ladies, get this for the fellas. Fellas, don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. This is free. This just comes with it. 30% off your first order, plus 20% off for life. Literally. Oh, snaps. I didn't know that they were sending it like this. Real talk. So this is the nail kit that they sending you. All right, so now you ain't looking like a dusty. This is a free gift straight from Tiege for the people that ordered the Tiege. They got the small one for the little hands like mine's. They got the big joints for your toenails. And then they got the joints at the bottom too. You know what I'm saying? For y'all that's a little bit more crustier than usual. All right, so that's one of the free gifts that Tiege got inside of the pack. And then what is this? Says squeeze a quarter size amount of Tiege Hanley body wash on the center of the wet bristles. Lather, scrub, rinse, and repeat for the perfectly satisfying wash every time. So that's inside of there also, right? Ooh, I can get my rubber ducky on right here. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Tiege for sending me that uncomplicated skincare for men. And then what we got in here? We got the actual Tiege pack, right? So this is the normal Tiege pack. But then they gave me the supersized joint for the people. They wanted me to show the people exactly what they got when they ordered that first Tiege pack, when you're getting your 30% off your first order, and then you get your free gifts. You get 2 free gifts, and then the 20% off for life. So the 20% off for life is a new thing. And, dang, I ain't even got my keys on me to open this up. Maybe I can use the little nail clipper thing. I ain't got to buy no nail clipper for my new joint downtown. And then you get all of the washes, all of the scrubs, all of the AM, the PMs, and all of that stuff. So you got the whole thing inside of there for you to make sure you take care of yourself. But you got to make sure you take care of it every day, right? We don't want to miss days. We don't want to be looking like dusties. It does not absolve you from being able to make sure that you brush your teeth. Brush your teeth. It don't fix the teeth problem. Don't fix you ironing your clothes. Don't fix you being able to take care of your business. But it absolutely makes sure that your skin is phenomenal, even when you're going between shaves. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Tiege Hanley. We absolutely appreciate you. Thank you for continuing to hold us down. I might do an official Tiege commercial, but I like just talking authentically to the people. I like giving the people the authentic look of what it is that you're dealing with, and I want you to hear from me personally. Because anybody can do that little pitch and they can make some little videos, but very few of us can actually speak to the products of exactly what it is that you're supposed to use. So yeah, Tiege Hanley, 30% off your first order and then 20% off for life. That's the Anton Daniels pack, 20% off for life. Using any other Tiege pack, make sure that you go ahead and let that go. And make sure you tap into the link that's in the description and take care of it, all right? What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate y'all for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up, friends and family? What's going on? How y'all doing? I'm happy to be with y'all today. I appreciate y'all for tuning into the show last night because it was a fun show. It was an incredible show. It was an exciting show. Thank you to everybody that continues to hold me down out here in these streets. What's going on? How y'all feel this morning? Man, let me tell you, TanDaGod, it is a sleepless life that we live out here. But I do have a full show lined up for you guys today, including breaking down different things that was happening at the Republican National Convention. And then in addition to that, we also want to get into Amber Rose. She made a speech at the Republican National Convention, which I was not expecting. And then last but not least, we got different things that was happening in Dallas that we need to hold down. And a man that was talking about jugging on credit cards. AI automation taking over American jobs. 15-year-old killed a man in Dallas. So much was happening yesterday, and so we definitely won't gonna get to it. So first and foremost, I want to acknowledge the people that support the platform and support the show. First, I want to get these early cash appers out of the way because they are always holding me down, and I appreciate you guys. I want to give a shout out to ESDC. Easy Money C in the building says, good morning, AD and friends. Have a good day and be safe. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. My dog, Mike, that dude is in the building. He don't even say nothing. He just support the platform. So shout out to my dog, Mike, that dude. I appreciate you for always holding us down. And then I'm going to continue to add value into your life by having these uncomfortable conversations, hopefully entertaining you, giving you some game. And then we're going to break down everything over the next week with regard to the Republican National Convention leading up to the Democratic National Convention. All right? So what up, friends and family? Shout out to Molly. Shout out to Ari. Everybody that was on the platform that looked out. Jesus Christ. Everybody that was on the platform that looked out. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all ready to get straight into the show? What up, Tia Marie? Before we get into the show, let me get one word in the chat of how you guys are feeling today. How are you guys feeling today? One word in the chat, how you guys are feeling today. One word inside of the chat. What's happening, friends and family? What's going on? One word inside of the chat. Blessed, awesome. I see Saeed Max is saying, morning, everyone. Just watched this video. Former neurosurgeon who quit after a decade. Yeah, I've seen that video. He was talking really, really slow. Really, really slow. Maybe we'll do a review video of that tomorrow. Based on the industry's dark truth, at what point do you consider morals over money in your career? It's a really good question. So, morals over money. It depends on the industry. It depends on what you're doing. And then more importantly, I'm not sure if the solution is to quit. For some people it is. For some people it's not. Let's take content creation, for example, right? Or let's take movie making or the music industry. Do you quit or do you try to implement change? Do you fight it? Because if you quit, they just going to get somebody else to replace you and it doesn't really matter whether you go or not. You see what I'm saying? I'd rather be the change that I want to see and be the person that leverages the platform to then change it and become a different person versus just running away from it, because you walking away from it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to institute change. It doesn't mean that the industry is going to be any better. All you did was, in my opinion, you were in a position of power and then you walked away from it and then you left the industry to its own devices versus actually being the change that you want to see in a place that you want to be. On content creation, for example, you know what I'm saying? From a content creation perspective, you could say, well, it's a lot of dark people and it's a lot of dark money, or it's always been an industry. But if you're an independent, if you're a person that moves as an independent and you build up your own platform and you put your own money into it and you're a different voice, you give the people an alternative to what they're used to seeing. So if there aren't any me's, or there aren't any people that's willing to show the receipts, or there aren't any people that advocate for marriage, or there aren't any people that advocate for being a Christian, or if there aren't any people that speak from it from a biblical perspective or give you practical advice or building this army, what alternative do you have? If there aren't any good neurosurgeons, or there aren't any doctors that then stand up and treat people the way that they're supposed to be treated, then what option do the people have? Because they're then going to be relegated to only dealing with the people that they have left that's available, right? So why would I quit and walk away when the noble thing, right? That's cute. That's cute for social media, and that's cute for everybody to just say, oh no, but guess what? People still need surgeons. People still need content creators. They still need inspiration. They still need money advice. Do you take it from the people, or you try to let them sift through it? Or do you have people that fight the system while at the same time giving you the thing that you need, that's willing to make the sacrifice that allows for you to be more successful? So I think it's the coward's move to quit. It's the coward's move to just walk away. At least put some skin in the game. You can't, listen, let me tell you something. I watched that video. He made a lot of money and he was successful, and now he has the opportunity to be able to basically retire and then sit there and talk about the industry that he benefited off of. He's been in the industry for a long time. So I'm not going to sit here and give him all of these flowers and the accolades just because after he walked away from it, he want to talk about it. I give you your flowers and the accolades for standing there and fighting for the people that's less fortunate or don't know no better. I got a difference of opinion, a difference of a view. So I got a whole lot of a whole different perspective of what success and advocating for people that don't know look like. I'd rather make the money and give it to the people than to let you take the money away and then go and spend it on a new Ferrari. So I got a different perspective. Shout out to Say Max. I appreciate you for the super chat. Thank you for supporting the platform, my friend. I see y'all feeling good. It looks like it says, let me see what y'all saying. Blessed, groovy, rested, morning, motivated, marvelous, awesome, confused, honestly. Shout out to your grandma, Vanessa, for turning 100 years old. I see you. Industrious, exited. Maybe you meant to say excited. Defeated? What's going on? Relentless, sleepy, ready, thankful, gravy. What are you feeling defeated about? Focusing, meh. Hopeful, sleep, marvelous. Disgusted. What are you disgusted about, Victor Williams? What are you disgusted about? Grateful, nervous, to be honest. Nervous? Choice is nice. Morling Teflon Time, I appreciate you. Ready, tired, exhausted. Suspicious, focused, motivated, ecstatic. Energized, fight and change it. Peaceful. All right, I see y'all. All right, y'all ready to go ahead and get started with the show? All right, let's get to it. When you're watching AD, you accidentally catch a live on my way home from the night shift. I'm not getting no sleep. Well, listen, I'm only going to be with y'all for about another hour and 45 minutes. So without further ado, again, I appreciate y'all for continuing to support the platform. Thank you for all of the super chats, the cash apps. And even if you just subscribe and hit a like for the algorithm, I love you. I appreciate y'all. Let's go ahead and get into the show, y'all. Quick Hits is a segment of the show that we don't necessarily think that we need to dedicate an entire segment to, but we definitely want to keep y'all informed on what's happening out in these streets. Let's get to it, y'all. First and foremost, Amazon shooting at an Amazon warehouse in Chicago. Take a look.
Now to your nonstop news, where police have confirmed there was a shooting at an Amazon fulfillment center in the southwest suburbs. And we've learned that shooting sent one woman to the hospital. Asal Rai live in Madison with more on that police investigation. Asal, what's the latest that we've learned about this?
Yeah, Audrina, well, I can tell you that Amazon Fulfillment Center is just behind me there in the distance. The scene is now clear, but overnight there was a large response here from police. Take a look at this video. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Police in this area, they say they responded to reports of shots fired around 9:30 last night. The Fulfillment Center is at the corner of Harlem and Valmer here in Madison. Police found a 33-year-old woman from Chicago with a graze wound to her head. She was taken to Christ Hospital. They say her injury is non-life threatening and she's expected to recover. Police were processing the scene here for hours. They say so far their investigation finding the shooting was likely in retaliation for an unreported fight between employees that happened here in the parking lot earlier in the night. Now, thankfully, there are no reports of any other injuries. Police say their investigation into this shooting continues. They would not say if there have been any arrests or if they have anyone in custody in connection to that shooting. We'll continue to push for more details and bring you the latest. I'm live in Madison. Asal Rai, CBS News, Chicago.
So they basically got into a fight overnight. I'm assuming that both of them was women because a woman was the person that wound up getting shot over there in Chicago. And I'm wondering, is it just the culture or is this just normal? A.R. Smitty said this is our new normal. Is this normal to where women are getting into fights overnight and then somebody else pull out the ooh-op shebang? They come back with the ooh-op shebang to come and shoot the person. Y'all supposed to be there to make money. This is what happens when y'all get all involved in everybody else's business. You don't like somebody. You checking on them, they checking on you. Man, a lot of these warehouses and these plants and stuff, trust me, I've worked in them. They just like high school. They are just like high school, bro. Just like ice. Somebody said they couldn't take the L and go home. Y'all should not be fighting at the Amazon parking lot in the middle of the night. I don't even want to be that cool with you. Look, to be honest with you, when you in a plant or you are in a warehouse, ain't no networking. There is no networking. It's not like being in corporate America where you're going to eventually level up and you can make friends with Kool-Aid. Nah, man, that person is there. He don't even want to be there. A lot of times he's sleepy. He just came from the club. He be smoking overnight, sleeping in his car. Don't nobody want to deal with that nonsense, bro. When you get into these plants or you get into these facilities, and I respect anybody that is making sure that they're working and taking care of business, go, shut your mouth, stop talking about all of your business, and go home. Make your money, go home. Make your money, go home. If they got overtime, take care of business. Speak, be cordial, be nice, make your money and go home. But stop crewing up. Stop being a part of the in club. You ain't got to go and have lunch with everybody and sit at everybody's table. You know what I wish sometimes? I wish that I can impart a lot of the things that I've learned over my life and just give it to y'all. All of the wisdom, all of the knowledge, all of the experiences. I wish I could just give it to y'all, but I can't. You got to learn it and you got to go through it for yourself. In addition to that, a 15-year-old girl allegedly kills a man in Dallas. Take a look.
Chip, thanks. A man who was found shot near the American Airlines Center in Dallas died over the weekend.
Police found a group of suspects, but say most of them got away. Fox 4's Paige Ellenberger live in Victory Park near where the shooting happened with the latest. Paige?
Yeah, Brennan, Lauren, and the one suspect Dallas police was able to take into custody, a 15-year-old girl. Like you mentioned, the rest ended up fleeing the scene. Now, we're told Dallas police responded to a shooting here near Nowitzki Way in North Houston Street about 5 Sunday morning. When they got here, they found 18-year-old Jake Reynosa lying on the street with gunshot wounds. He was taken to the hospital where he died from his injuries. During an investigation, police found out Reynosa was approached by several suspects before being shot. Police ended up finding those suspects and initiated a traffic stop nearby. However, most of them ran from the scene. Police took one girl into custody, again, just 15 years old. She's charged with capital murder. Her name isn't being released due to her age. Now, at this point, police still need help figuring out what led up to the shooting. They also need help finding out more information about the other suspects who are believed to be involved. So if you know any information, you're urged to contact Dallas police.
Father, stay in your daughter's lives. Stop having children out of wedlock. I don't know what it was. When I first seen this story hit the news, I thought that it was a situation where somebody was being trafficked or somebody was being approached on that type of time. But the more that I learn about this story and the more that I look into it, thank you, Kenya. I'm definitely going to be reading that super chat shortly. The more that I look at this story and the more that I look into it, the more that it seems like it was a whole group thing and they was doing something that they wasn't supposed to do. The guy was 18 years old that died, shot by a 15-year-old girl. Man, this is just stupid, bro. It's so dumb. It's so stupid. Y'all saying that she telling on everybody, Fi Brown, AJ Wise? I think that she should. I think all of them need to be caught. And none of them need to be in the streets, because if they out here killing people and riding around with guns, then we need to go ahead and remedy that immediately. And then last but not least, the FBI is issuing another bank jugging warning. Check it out.
All right, we first saw red flags when online crime trackers, then local police departments spoke out. Now the FBI is weighing in with a warning on jugging.
That's right. Jugging is when thieves target people using ATMs and banks. We do want to get out to Fox 5's Stephanie Ramirez, who's been covering this for us this morning. She's live at a Truist Bank in Bowie, Maryland, that was hit just last week. Stephanie?
Makia, Stephen, good morning. So police and FBI agents say jugging is when a suspect or a group, they'll follow you after you leave the bank or an ATM, thinking you have a big wad of cash cash with you. And so they'll approach you when you're in your car, if you just get in, or if you're here putting your stuff away. They might even follow you and rob you at your next location. Look, it's such a big deal that just last week, Bowie's police chief was warning about this, and now the FBI has a new warning. The Baltimore field office saying it is such a serious issue in Maryland, especially in Anne Arundel and Prince George's County, that now thieves have targeted at least 21 customers using bank and ATMs in the state in just the first week of July alone. They also said so far this year they've received at least 7 dozen jugging reports, so over 80 jugging crime reports, with most of them happening this month and last month. Now, Hope Simpara, she's helping her mom out in the area, raised in Anne Arundel County, but she's living out of the region now. She told me she had not heard of this yet and is worried it is going to become a national trend.
If I go get $20, and is it worth your life to get my $20 that I just needed for cash, for a tip or something like that? I don't know. I'm a person that I don't like to keep cash, but you need cash sometimes for things now. I don't know. It's just something else, I guess, to be vigilant about and something else to worry about. And if it's happening at all different times of the day, that's really scary. That's really scary.
If you are in your vehicle, police say something to look out for is if you're being followed, right? Check, be vigilant. Don't be on your phone. Don't be on the radio. Watch and see who's following behind you. And if you believe you're being followed, go to a busy location where you can call police or drive to a police station. Now, if you're getting out of the ATM or the bank, one thing they say is put your money away first and make sure to be vigilant.
Hold on. Give me a second. Y'all know how I get distracted. Give me a minute. You know I get distracted easily. Give me a second. I got you.
Or the bank, one thing they say is put your money away first and make sure to be vigilant of anyone maybe standing around the area loitering that looks suspicious, or someone parked in reverse in a parking spot that looks suspicious as well. I'll send it back to you.
Yeah, listen, she kind of bad. I like what she got going on. I like the older thing, but Fit still doing her thing. I'm with it. I'm 100% with it. She looking good. But this is nothing new. What bank robbers and what these young dudes are starting to figure out is that, yeah, Carol, she slapping. What these young dudes figured out is that, listen, I'm not going to go in there and get the die pack, put in my stuff, get the alarm triggered. We ain't got to do all of that. We ain't got to worry about response times. We ain't got to do none of that. All we got to do is, for a business owner, wait for you to walk out with that bag. A lot of times they give you this little zip-up bag and stuff like that. Wait for you to feel comfortable. Walk out with the bag, because you're not aware and you're not really familiar with your surroundings as far as knowing that this type of stuff happen on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? They just watching you, and they watching you from a distance. And most of the time, they're not going after the person that's getting $20. Let me tell you that. Baby, if you going in there and you got $20 out, they not tripping about it. They waiting for the person that got the envelopes, that got the deposit bags, that come from their business, all of that stuff. And so what they basically doing, instead of robbing the bank, they just going to rob you. They going to follow you home. They know that ain't nobody going to be checking for you because it's not going to be listed as a big crime. They're not going to be on all of the cameras. And so what they're going to do is they just going to rob you and then pull you out your car, probably carjack you, or run up on you with another stole and take your keys, take your phone to prevent you from being able to call the police. And then you got to run over somewhere else and do it. And so it makes it easier for them to be able to get away with it. And so when y'all see me, and then I'll be like, man, listen, when I hit the freeway, I'll be going this, and I don't care if the police pull me over. I don't really be stopping at no lights like that. I'm very, very, very vigilant and very careful because I know what the game is. I know what these young dudes is doing. I know how they moving. And so I'd rather get stopped by the police and get a ticket. Most of the time I still don't get a ticket. I'd rather get a ticket than get pulled out of my car and get carjacked and risk my life. So just be careful. Be aware, be careful. Like Keisha said, keep your head on a swivel. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your quick hits. All right, let me read this super chat, and then we're going to go ahead and get started with the show. Kenya from Cali says, about to go back to sleep but wanted to show love to the grind. Thanks you for all that you do. Shout out to you, Kenya from Cali. I appreciate you. Everybody that hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Make sure you get that Tiege Hanley 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. That link is in the description. It's a phenomenal product. I also dropped, as promised, I dropped the Patreon video. I actually uploaded it yesterday, but I scheduled for it to come out this morning. So it came out at 7 a.m. Eastern before we started the live stream today. When you get done off of this live stream, go and watch the Patreon video. It is chock full of information. Chock full of information. It is so much game. It is important especially if you are a business owner or you are a content creator or you look towards influencer marketing or you're trying to figure out how to market your business more effectively. You need to go and watch that video. It is a Patreon exclusive. It is not going to be available to the general public. Go and watch that video inside of the Patreon because it will help you start to put together the ways in which you're supposed to operate, especially even if you're a content creator, if you're a business owner. You can take these principles, apply it to your business, and wind up becoming more successful as a result of it. All right. So that Patreon exclusive video is in the description. The link to the Patreon is in the description. Anybody that's on a tier, you have access to the video, and that is my gift to you. And we also gonna do Stock Club. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And you seen the notification, Keisha? All right, go and watch that video. That's just for y'all, exclusive content. All right. All right, y'all, let's continue on with the show. So first and foremost, we got to go over into the Republican National Convention. That is the big thing, the big news. J.D. Vance was one of the people that was selected, or not one of the people. He was among a short list of people that was selected and then ultimately became the running mate of Trump in the vice presidential nomination as far as if Trump becomes president, when Trump becomes president. But before we get into him, Trump made a surprise appearance, which was a surprise to nobody, actually. But he made a surprise appearance and coming up to or going into the Republican National Convention early. Check it out.
Gentlemen, please welcome the next president of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
That's the way you're supposed to come in. Bandage on your ear, showing that you survived an assassination attempt. Listen, bro, if the Republican Party is not playing this 1,000% right, I don't know how any way you can do it. They are hitting on every single cylinder. They are capitalizing off of all the visibility. I'm not even sure that there's ever been a more watched Republican National Convention in history. I'm going to have to go and check the numbers. I'm not sure that it's ever been a Republican National Convention that has been more watched than the one that's watched right now. Honest to God. Dude got the thing on, the bandage on his ear like he just came out of war. Said that, yo, I'm going to show up. Just came off of the blood off of his face and everything like that. Got the music playing. Made a surprise appearance. Didn't even appear at the time that he was supposed to appear. Made it a surprise appearance. And picked his vice presidential running mate. You can't make this up, bro. You cannot make this type of visibility up, bro.
All the things were gone. I worked for all my life, and I had to start again. Just my children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars to be living here today.
Got the whole world around him. Got the Secret Service agents blocking every piece of who he is. Look, he about to cry. What a time to be alive, ladies and gentlemen.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. Don't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her.
Is this guy not one of the greatest Americans of all time? I mean, from a marketing perspective, look. It does not get any better, honestly, than winning when you wasn't expected to win, losing, letting your opponent fumble, and then coming back and taking over the White House right after that if he was to get elected. Dog, this story, when they write him into the history books, I guarantee you it's not going to be the second Bush. It's not going to be the first Bush. It's not going to be the Clintons. It's not going to be Biden. Nobody is going to study Biden in history going forward as far as the presidents of the United States of America. I'm telling you right now that you cannot make this up. They've literally made him a documentary. He's a walking documentary. Oh my God, been persecuted. Supreme Court, I went against all odds. I killed everything. I destroyed everything. I made America great again. I fought China. I fought Russia. I brought our American troops back home. Dog, this is a documentary. Literally, you are watching a real life and real time drama. Villain turn hero again. They turned against me. They didn't like me when they first came in, but then they learned to appreciate me, and we all on the same team because we're going to make it. I'm telling you, bro, you cannot make this up, bro. Seriously.
Still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land.
Went against the establishment.
God bless the
We drained the swamp. I lost all respect for Charlemagne too. I seen his little breakdown. I lost all respect. I lost so much respect, Bob Brown, for Charlemagne that I won't even review that little stupid breakdown that he did. It was so ignorant and it was so dumb. It's amazing. But the bigger news was not just him coming out, but him leveraging an opportunity in order to basically highlight J.D. Vance, who is now his VP running mate for President of the United States of America. Check it out.
It is now my honor to introduce the Attorney General of Iowa, Brenna Bird. Please join me in giving her a warm welcome.
Why all the politicians want to be looking frumpy? I don't like that. You're looking frumpy to the mad, bro.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for us to determine our nominee for the office of Vice President of the United States, Senator J.D. Vance. All right, time for a little convention business here. The chair states that in compliance with Rule 40B, the chair has been furnished with evidence that a plurality of the delegates from each of 5 or more states severally support the candidate who will be presented for the nomination for Vice President of the United States. The chair would like to remind delegates of the provisions of Rule 40A, which provide that in part, if there is only one candidate for nomination for Vice President of the United States who has demonstrated the support required by this paragraph B of this rule, a motion to nominate for such office by acclamation shall be in order, and no calling of the roll with respect to such office shall be required. At this time, the chair states that she has been furnished with evidence that there is only one candidate for nomination for the office of Vice President who has demonstrated the support required under Rule 40B of the Rules of the Convention. Delegates and alternates, the chair recognizes and is pleased to introduce John Husted, Lieutenant Governor of Ohio, for the purpose of nominating. Please give him a warm welcome.
Are we ready? Are we ready to nominate a vice president? How about you, Ohio? Yeah! That's awesome. I'm John Husted, the Lieutenant Governor from the great state of Ohio. It is an honor to speak to you all this afternoon to formally nominate the Republican nominee for Vice President of the United States. Ohio is the heart of it all, and that is certainly the case once again here today. The vice presidency is an office of sacred trust, The man who accepts this nomination accepts with it the awesome responsibility to give wise counsel to the president, to represent America abroad, to preside over the Senate, and to be ready to lead our nation at a moment's notice. Such a man must have an America first attitude in his heart. He must, amen.
You see his wife? You see his wife?
He must embrace his obligation to the American family, the American worker, and the American soldier. He must believe that America is exceptional.
His wife is Indian.
And be prepared in the tradition of our founders to pledge his life, his fortune, his sacred honor to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. He must share the values and principles of our presidential nominee and be trusted to faithfully.
I know white women mad right now. Talk about it. Oh, we gonna get there. Trust me. We got a whole week. I'm gonna break down his wife, the nationality. It's only Tuesday. We got a full week. We gonna get to it.
Implement the will of the people. J.D. Vance is such a man.
J.D. 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 J.D.
A man who loves America and will represent our people with moral courage, strength, and honor. J.D. is a living embodiment of the American dream. He came from humble beginnings, and even as his life took him to places he might have never imagined, he never forgot where he came from.
I heard that his wife quit her law firm, or not quit her law firm, quit her job in law as soon as he was nominated as Vice President of the United States of America, or the VP running mate of the presidential candidate of the United States of America. Let me just give y'all a quick overview. I kind of talked about it yesterday, but I'm going to give y'all a quick overview of who J.D. Vance is and why I believe that this is a phenomenal pick, okay? I seen a lot of people online yesterday, and I was looking at their little reviews and stuff like that, and they completely missed the mark. Most people 100% missed the mark on this guy and why it was necessary for him to be picked as Vice President of the United States of America. I anticipated somebody like a Vivek. I never anticipated any other person outside of Vivek or somebody that could galvanize the swing state voters outside of people that then talked well, right? And so I never anticipated it being Nikki Haley or anything like that. But let me just break down for you guys a little bit of an understanding who J.D. Vance is. So J.D. Vance, that's him and his wife, and they were at the Republican National Convention yesterday. He was his running mate and at the Republican National Convention, and he was basically an Ohio senator. An Ohio senator. All right, let's go on. He's from Kentucky, Jackson, Kentucky, and Middletown, Ohio. Described in his childhood as a person that was raised in poverty. He had a 2016 best-selling memoir, Hillbilly Elegy. Vance's mother struggled with drug addiction, and he spent many of his formative years with his grandmother, known to him as Mama. Just captured the hearts of the people right there. All of the people from every walk of life, not only the people that is in the Senate and that's of the higher-ups and the elites, but his story resonates with the people. And more importantly, he's from Ohio, okay? He's a senator in Ohio. Why is that meaningful? Because it solidified Donald Trump's presidency by continuing to control the swing states. The biggest coup for Donald Trump is to really capture the Midwest. The Midwest, in my opinion, because I think that everywhere else is pretty much what it's going to be. Of course, you got to make sure that you take care of Nevada, right? You got to try to control what happens in Georgia. You really want Arizona. You want to knock down Arizona. But the main places that you want to control the Milwaukees, you want to control Michigan, you want to control Ohio, you want to control Indiana, right? So when we talk about swing states, Florida is a swing state that I believe is largely going to be red. When we talk about swing states and we talk about these places, you don't care about California. You don't care about New York. California and New York is going to be California and New York. You know what I'm saying? Even though New York is kind of surprising me a little bit, but you don't care about that. You want to control the Midwest, right? Those are the places where people are largely going to be determined in the election. You want to be in the steel states, right? You want to be in the manufacturing states, the UAW. You want to be in Ohio. You want to be in all of these places, the middle America, the places that has largely been forgotten when we talking about all of these places where people go to visit. They go to visit Miami, and they go to Texas and Houston. That's not where you want to focus your campaign. The way that Obama really captured America was not just hope, but because he tapped into the everyday American in a way that could relate to him, in addition to the fact that they were going through a lot of things. And so the part that people really are missing is the heart of America, and that's always going to be the Midwest. That's where all of the manufacturing jobs are. We don't care about the finance sector. We don't care about Silicon Valley. You got to go where things are being made, where the weather has all 4 seasons, and that's where you pick your person at. And not only did he pick a person that came from humble beginnings that's not a part of the establishment, but a person that has recently been nominated and elected into our legislature as recently as 2022. Born in 1984. He's only 40 years old, 39 years old, 40 years old. If elected, he'll be the youngest vice president since Richard Nixon. He served in the military, all right? Joined the Marine Corps after high school. Look at that jawline. As American as it gets. If you want your son to run for president of the United States, you ever want them to be able to get into the legislature, make them go into the armed services. That's the fastest way to get some level of credibility. His wife, Usha Vance, who was also a litigator for a law firm based in San Francisco and Washington, D.C., the pair met as students at Yale Law School, meaning that this dude is smart as hell. He's smart as hell. He is not just some dumb jock. He is just not some white hillbilly from the middle of America. His story resonates with people because it's like you pulled yourself up by your bootstraps. You also married a woman that is a representation of the melting pot of America, so you're capturing a whole nother demographic, right? On top of that, you went to Yale Law School, paid for by the fact that you pulled yourself up from your bootstraps. You didn't have nobody to pay for your education, but you went into the armed services to serve your country, right? Got married in 2014, 1 year after they graduated. Married the person that he met in college. 3 children. One of them name is Vivek. You know what I'm saying? Look at his wife. Humble, supportive. They say that she's really the engine that powers what goes on inside of their marriage. Behind every great man is always going to be a strong woman that is very supportive. And so she's right there by his side. Right there by his side, right? He lives in the East Walnut Hills neighborhood of Cincinnati. The senator also bought $1.5 million home in Alexandria, blah, 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 blah. The biggest thing from this is that there's a lot of people that say, well, when he first hit the scene, he actually wasn't a Trumper. He was against Trump. Well, that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest advertising or advertisement that you can have for a person that ultimately became your running mate, because it's the mindset of what a lot of the voters did, including myself, because when Trump first came into office, I thought and I believed that he was in office in order to continue to market himself. But as I continued to do my research and I looked at more stories, he really believed that he could win. And so the idea of winning the heart of the American people and being a representation of, I didn't believe in him then and I didn't understand him then, but then I started to believe in him now, or I think that he's the best person for the job, so much so to where I'm advocating for him, and I became a person that was one of his biggest Trumpers and his biggest supporters throughout his journey these last almost, 12 years? It's a big deal. It's a huge deal. And so I think that is an excellent pick. I'm not sure that you can get a better pick. If you're looking to galvanize the voters, if you're looking to control the swing states, if you're looking to get a person that is literally middle of America, that married a woman that's a representation of the hodgepodge and the melting pot that is the United States of America, 3 children, went to Yale Law School, served in the armed services, wasn't previously a Trump supporter, but now has been a Trump supporter for a long time over the last few years, and then has a lot of swing and a lot of sway with a lot of the elites in corporate America, who else would you pick? And they say that the dude absolutely 100% can debate his ass off. They say he's smart as hell and he can debate his. They say Kamala Harris got her hands full. If it's ever going to be a vice presidential debate, it's going to be a long day for her. So I'm looking forward to it. Election 2024 is so exciting. I've been gearing up for this for the past 2.5 years. I said, this is going to be an incredible time, an incredible day, an incredible time. So that is everything that you have to know about Vance, JD Vance, that is. Let me read a couple of the super chats and then I'm going to get y'all rocking off with the next part of the story because this is a full show today. JPZ Too Cool says, thank you for all that you do for the Bag Chaser community. Thank you for the mindset change. God bless you and your family. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you for rocking out with me and supporting what we got going on over here. Freedom Care Podcast says, did you see Charlamagne say the reason Donald J. Trump got shot is his? I seen it. And Plies is losing his mind on social media calling Trump Hitler and Putin. Yeah, I've been seeing it. We gonna address it. Make sure y'all tune in to After Hours tonight. And let's see what's happening out here in these streets. I appreciate you, Freedom Care Podcast. Let's continue on with the show. So, one thing that I wasn't expecting, but absolutely was interested in seeing, and I wouldn't even watch the speech until I sat here and rocked out with y'all, was Amber Rose. Amber. Do we have that up there? There we go. Amber Rose. So Amber Rose pulled up to the Republican National Convention and she gave a speech basically telling her story of how she eventually became a conservative. I have not watched this. We will be watching this together for the first time. If you have not already hit a like for the algorithm, I would love for you guys to subscribe to the best morning show on the face of the earth. There is nobody that's breaking it down from an independent perspective that can truly speak to every aspect of what we talk about in the news as far as politics, money, and then crime that's happening in your communities. Tune in, hit a like for the algorithm. Let's go into this Amber Rose speech. Now, for me personally, I don't do single baby mamas on the stage speaking about how they became a conservative, but I'm going to keep an open mind because I'm objective, all right? Let's get into it.
Please welcome Amber Rose from South Philadelphia.
That's my dog, Fi Brown State, South Philly. South Philly, I got you, Fi Brown. I'm going to read that super chat shortly.
My name is Amber Rose. I'm a model and entrepreneur. Thank you. But most importantly, I'm a mother. My whole world revolves around providing for my children, keeping them safe, and giving them an opportunity for a better life.
I'm sorry, y'all. Just give me a second. Give me a second. Two things that stand out for me is the tattoo on the forehead. Jesus Christ. And I know that we need somebody to really resonate with the feminists and the single baby mamas and all of that. Great pick. Phenomenal pick. All right. However, it's hard for me. It's very hard for me. But she's not speaking to me. She's speaking to all of her Instagram followers and all of her friends. All right. The second thing is I'm a model and entrepreneur. Got it. Meaning that Kanye, Yeezy put me on, but let's get to it. Let's be objective. Let's remove the background and let's listen to her story so that we can better understand whether or not this makes sense for her to be at the Republican National Convention giving a speech.
Something that unites all American parents, whether we're Republicans, Democrats, conservatives, or liberals, we all want a better country for our children. But I'm here tonight to tell you, no matter your political background, that the best chance we have to give our babies a better life is to elect Donald Trump President of the United States. Now, you may be wondering why I'm up here telling you this. I'm no politician and I don't want to be, but I do care about the truth. And the truth is that the media has lied to us about Donald Trump.
I will say that she has really, really, really pretty teeth. Incredibly pretty teeth. I will give her that.
I know this because for a long time I believed those lies, so I'm here to set the record straight. The first person I knew who supported Donald Trump was my father. I was shocked. My entire family is racially diverse, and I believed the left-wing propaganda that Donald Trump was a racist. My father said, "No, he's not, Amber. What are you talking about?" And when I insisted, he said, "Prove it." So to prove my father wrong, I did my research and looked into all things Donald Trump.
That's fair.
People have to do their research.
Listen, forget the fact that she for the streets. I think that that's fair. And I think that it's the thing that a lot of people need to do is they need to do the research for themselves instead of listening to Amanda Seales, Taraji P. Henson, and Charlemagne. I think that that's fair. Most people are programmed to think one thing, but they've never actually become informed by doing the research themselves. I don't have any problem with what she said so far.
I watched all the rallies, and I started meeting so many of you, his red hat wearing supporters. I realized Donald Trump and his supporters don't care if you're black, white, gay, or straight. It's all love. And that's when it hit me. These are my people. This is where I belong. So I let go of my fear of judgment, of being misunderstood, of getting attacked by the left, and I put the red hat on too. Thank you. Love you too. I never felt more free and more love for my country than I do now. I want to thank my father, who's in the audience tonight, for opening my eyes. He served over 20 years in the U.S. military. Thank you for your service, Dad.
That's insane. That is absolutely insane. Listen, I don't disagree with any part of her speech, and her ability to be able to communicate effectively is on point. At least they brought somebody up there that can read from the screen and say exactly and then galvanize their user base to mobilize on behalf of Donald Trump. The other side of that is to know that your father actually served in the services for 20 years, but then you wind up getting on the album and saying, Yeezy taught me, is insane. Oh, man. Maybe Randy was right. Strong fathers create modern women. Good God. Let's continue.
I love you, Dad. I love you. I love you so much. Thank you. When I met the president and Melania for the first time, he was kind and generous and funny as hell. Very funny. The First Lady was gracious and smart with a smile that will brighten up any room. If you're watching this tonight, you know our country is in trouble. Just like me. When you go to the store and buy food for your family, you're shocked. When you fill up your gas tank, you're pissed. I know I am. And when you turn on the news, you are just exhausted. Inflation is out of control. And you know in your heart it was not like this under Donald Trump.
Facts. That's a fact.
My message to you tonight comes from a humble place. The left told me to hate Trump, and even worse, to hate the other side, the people who support him.
Yeah.
When you cut through the lies, you realize the truth. American families were better when Donald Trump was president.
I gotta agree with you, Shay.
We were safer, wealthier, and stronger. A vote for Donald Trump is a vote to put money back in our pockets and good food on our kids' plates. Yes.
I can't disagree with you.
Or, as Trump would say, it's a vote to make America great again. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Not over talking, not too long. Speech was less than 5 minutes long. Got her point out, resonated with her base, stood 10 toes down. Teeth was shining. And she had the tattoo on the front of her head. Y'all tell me, do y'all think that it was a smart pick for them to ultimately bring her on? Was it smart for them to make her a person that spoke in Milwaukee at the Republican National Convention? Did she resonate with her users? Did she resonate with the women that follow her? Did she resonate with her voter base or with the voter base that Donald Trump is trying to tap into? Who? Women of all colors that ultimately say, we don't like Donald Trump. If Amber Rose embraced you, let me see how many followers Amber Rose got on social media real quick. I know it's a lot. I know it's a lot. Amber Rose. 24 million followers on social media. And she got the Trump Make America Great Again on her profile picture with the Eazy-E. Yeah. She recently posted a picture of Donald Trump when he wound up, the assassination attempt, and it got 74,000 likes. Maybe it's a thing. Maybe it was smart. I will say this also, though. Even though she said, listen, I had to do my own research to find out whether or not he was really racist or not, to go against the rhetoric, and I applaud that. And I think that that's noble. I think that that's absolutely awesome. But I will say this. There are a lot of people that won't admit that they was against him, unlike what she just said. There's a lot of people that won't bring themselves to the front of the congregation and say, you know what? I was wrong. I voted wrong. I got it wrong. I was a part of this whole liberal leftist movement. Black Lives Matters. I was out there protesting. I was looking stupid. I wasn't 6 feet, no check. I brought the vid back to my grandmama that might have passed away, and I shouldn't have been out there protesting, but I wanted to make a change, and I wanted to stand for some propaganda, and I gave granddad the vid, who gave it to grandma, and I'm the reason that they wound up getting on respirators. There's a lot of people that don't want to have that conversation. They don't want to take responsibility and accountability for what happened. Now, I wouldn't go that far, Miss Lee, and say, yeah, y'all love Amber like that, Miss Lee? Miss Lee, you love Amber like that? Okay, all right. Okay, I feel you. I got you. But all I'm saying is, it's another part of that conversation that y'all don't want to admit also. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, that was Amber Rose giving her speech at the Republican National Convention. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Y'all liked the speech? Y'all thought it was smart? Y'all thought it was wise to have her up there? Or do you think that it was a mistake from the Republicans and the conservatives to have Amber Rose to speak to her user base as far as what it is that you should be doing as far as voting for Trump as president of the United States of America? Fi Brown in the building. Shout out to Fi. Says, yo, AD, crazy how Charlemagne said Trump assassination attempt was his fault and gave Donkey today to two people saying change the rhetoric. Yeah, I seen that. Saying change the rhetoric on Trump, completely ignored his friend Amanda Seals' idiotic take. He is really a coward. I think that the Breakfast Club is trash, and they just riding the wave of what they created before. But they smart. I think that Charlemagne is an idiot, though. I mean, why are we listening to Charlemagne as far as hard takes and smart rhetoric? You know what I'm saying? Seminole 2014 says, hey, AD, I don't know if you'll get into it today, but I heard the Teamsters president spoke at the RNC last night. Can you break down what impact? We're going to get into that tomorrow. We're going to get into his wife and J.D. Vance's wife. We're going to get into the other speakers at the Republican National Convention. We're going to be covering it all week, all right? So I guarantee you we're going to get into it, all right? If it happened, I'm going to cover it. Last but not least, Debt Free Dad says she's a great speaker for a woman with a forehead tat. Shout out to Debt Free Dad for supporting the platform. Jay Ben says Spanish lady admitted she went against the grain. I'm with it. It's all, listen, I think that people let me just say this. People that refuse to get on a train just because they haven't been on a train is on the wrong side of history. I was once on the wrong side of history. I hate to admit it. Maybe I'll even do a whole segment on it later on this week. I was once wrong and on the wrong. Actually, it wasn't just once. It was more than one time as far as voting. I got a spotty ass voting record. I'm going to be the first to admit it. I have no problem being transparent. I have no problem being transparent and saying that I had a spotty voting record. Absolutely had a spotty voting record. A lot of it was based on rhetoric from people that came before me when I was 18 years old. When I was 18, that was my first election that I was able to vote in. That November, I was going into college. It was the year 2000. And actually, I don't think that I voted wrong that one. My first time that I think that I voted wrong was Obama. I should have never voted for Obama. I was excited for hope in the same way, and I needed something to believe in because I was out there struggling. It was hard out here for a pimp. It was hard out here for a pimp. I ain't had no job. I had a brand new baby. I had just moved back in with my parents. I was looking for anything. They played right into my emotions like everybody else. And Bush was so bad, I was like, Jesus Christ. So my first spotty pick was Obama. The second one we'll discuss later on in this week, all right? Absolutely 100%. I think that 100% I made the wrong decision. And in hindsight, I will never make a bad decision when it comes to being an informed voter and voting for my own best interest, which I think is the best interest of the people. All right, we just need to, it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to say I made a mistake, but the problem is that we stand 10 toes down and then we continue to do the thing that's not best in our best interest. Anyways, neither here nor there. Let me read a couple of more super chats and then we're going to move on to the show. I was off. I was wrong. Zigzag. Shout out to Zigzag. Hitting me off with the Ninja Turtles. Which Ninja Turtle was that? Is that Michelangelo? Leonardo? Which one is that one? Shout out to my dog Chase Barnes says, happy Tuesday, AD and peeps. That NBC interview last night with Joe and Lester was awkward. It's like trying to talk to your aging parent about their driving unsafe when they don't see a problem with them driving on a sidewalk. They don't know what's best for them. Trust me. I'm going to get there. We got a lot to cover all week. We got a lot to cover. But before we get into that, I got to get into some other stuff. You know, I'm not going to leave these people out of the news for long. I've been paying attention to what's happening in Oakland and Chicago and Los Angeles and New York. I know that y'all thought that I forgot because they had an assassination attempt on Trump. Brandon Johnson think that I forgot about him. Karen Bass think that I'm not aware. Shane Tao, I see you. We see y'all. I'm going to start finding out about these judges too. Because it ain't just these judges and these governors. Gavin Newsom, I know what you're doing. Kathy Hochul, they don't like you in New York. Eric Adams, I see what's happening. Tiffany Henyard, I see you still doing what you're doing. But before we get into that, I definitely want to get into this. So before we get into the Oakland rapper that was killed at a store opening, I want to first show you and give you an example of exactly what the problem is inside of our society and why. It's not just our legislators. It's not just our mayors. It's not just our governors. It's everybody. It's the judges. It's the prosecutors. It's the district attorneys. It's the people that help create the laws and craft the legislation and ultimately make it easy for these people to get out of jail. Take a look.
New charges in a frightening crime spree in Oakland. The suspect in a string of fast food robberies was recently freed from prison after his sentence was shortened. Prosecutors say he robbed these 3 restaurants within an hour earlier this month. Da Lin spoke to a victim who says her attacker should not have been out on the streets.
Give me all the money right now. Give me all the money right now. Give me all the money right now! Give it!
The workers say the robber attacked 2 female employees inside Casave Taqueria. A cook, Santos Sanchez, who was cleaning in the back room, ran toward the man to push him away from the women. A struggle ensued, and the suspect punched Sanchez in the face.
Open it! Open it! Open it! Hit my drink. Oh, come on, man. If I touch it or if I push my cheek, yeah, it's still kind of hard.
Police say the taqueria was one of 3 restaurants the man robbed on the evening.
Yo, I seen his punch. I just seen what he did. I think you could take him. Iglesias, I think you could take him. That didn't look like a punch from a man that could. I think you got some squabbles. I think it's some squabbling that can happen. But I do understand you don't want to go and fight for something that's not yours. It's much easier and safer for you to just let him take the money. But he didn't look like he could really throw a punch like that. That punch didn't hit the way that he thought that it was going to hit.
Of July 5th. All of the robberies happened on San Pablo Avenue. They say he robbed a Papa John's pizza restaurant. Employees shared the surveillance video of the suspect chasing and attacking a cashier. They say he demanded all the workers their money. When they refused to hand over their wallets, they say he went to empty out the cash register. Police say he also robbed a nearby McDonald's. They say he also beat up and robbed these 2 Asian women. Police say there were
So this dude just out. Listen, this is Oakland. He taking his time. He going to Papa John's. He went to McDonald's. Your grandmother was out there with her walker, and so she out there trying to figure out what her next move is gonna be. He beating up Asians, white people, Mexicans, Hispanics. I don't see no black people out there, but he beating up everybody. Papa John's everywhere. He just out there terrorizing Oakland. Ain't a police officer in sight. Ain't no security guard. It ain't a crosswalk person from the schools. Ain't nobody out there to stop him. This man is walking around with some Panda Dunks on, no draws, and is 100% ruining the community.
Still trying to identify these 2 victims who did not file a police report. Police later arrested 31-year-old Clarence Asteen. In all, they say he robbed 2 women, 3 restaurants, and beat up a handful of people.
This is very bad and scary at the same time.
District Attorney Pamela Price says Asteen was released from prison 11 days before the robbery spree. Asteen was serving 30 years to life for a robbery in which he shot and injured an elderly woman in 2009. Price says since Asteen was 16 years old at the time, he was eligible for a new sentence under a new law. Her office recommended a shorter sentence. A judge signed off, and Asteen was released on June 24th.
So he was supposed to be doing 30 years. He was supposed to be in prison, still being rehabilitated, because they gave him 30 because he wasn't doing what he was supposed to do in the first place. You know how a lot of these guys don't care about the crime that they do because listen, we'll be resentenced. We'll get out early behavior. We ain't tripping about it. They're going to cut that half into a third of what it was supposed to be. We going to go in there. We going to party with our homeboys and we going to have a good time. He was still supposed to be locked up. But instead, your mama is getting her head crashed in. She crashing out on the side of the sidewalk. Police ain't nowhere to be found because it's only 34 officers patrolling the whole freaking city. You see what happens when you defund the police? You see what happens when you pick for yourself? You see what happens when you don't become an informed voter? So now your judges, your prosecutors, all of these people is signing off on the very ones that's going to kick your butt, take your money, take your wallet, run your businesses out of business, and ain't going to be a police officer to come over there and stop them. You see how this is a death loop, a doom loop, while the California Highway Patrol all of a sudden got to start to help police Oakland that is basically insolvent and going into bankruptcy? Why Gavin Newsom, Shank, all of these people are just running your cities into the ground. Your prosecutors, your district attorneys, they got their wigs on, they got their pearls on, and they letting the criminals out to come and kick your butt.
All bear a responsibility for that. And certainly my office will continue to redouble our efforts to provide effective reentry services.
The owner of the taqueria is outraged by the shorter prison time. He says aside from the robbery, they also had 6 break-ins in the last 2 months. He says there's no accountability.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad because I know for sure that they're going to keep doing it, and they should stay in jail.
The cook, Sanchez, hopes the suspect will be put away for a long time.
Kind of frustrating, because you can do anything. The laws right now, they protect like the criminals.
Pamela Price's office charged Esteen with 5 counts of second-degree robbery. If convicted, he faces up to 15 years in prison.
Well, prosecutors
we're not even worried about that. We know that ain't gonna happen.
Tell us that the maximum sentence could be doubled to 30 years as a result of the suspect's criminal.
We ain't gonna even worry about that. We know that that's not happening. But also over in Oakland, a rapper was killed at the release or the opening of a beauty supply store. Who'd have thunk it?
An East Bay rapper killed over the weekend, and her friends say she was shot while attending an event at a beauty shop in Oakland. New at 6, KTVU's Crystal Bailey joins us now with more details on her life and what led up to that shooting.
Look at that wifey-looking woman. Look at that woman out there looking like a wife. I see you. I see you. She got the Candace Owens dress type on. Okay. All right, that traditional. She looking good. I see you, baby. I need to see that ring finger, though.
Crystal?
Well, the victim is known as TanDaGod, a rapper with more than 20,000 followers on Instagram and a bright future ahead of her. According to the people who knew her, they say the young entrepreneur and music artist was passionate about her music, and they never saw this coming.
A woman shot dead in broad daylight.
Yeah, everybody ducked and hide behind the cars and stuff.
It was supposed to be a celebration. Glamour Beauty Supply on Telegraph in Oakland was hosting a grand opening on Saturday. The historic beauty shop closed back in May but was under new ownership. Friends identified the woman killed as Aliana Green, known as Oakland rapper TanDaGod. The new owner of the shop, who declined an interview, says he invited the well-known Oakland rapper to the event because she was a supporter of black-owned businesses. This is video from her Instagram. She was promoting the grand opening and having a meet and greet with fans.
She was performing there, and this guy with the hoodie just walks in through that gate and just started shooting.
I hear some shots, right? So the shots I thought was just part of the music, the performance, and then I heard 3 really loud shots.
Vincent, who works the donut shop next door, says people came into his shop for cover from the gunfire. Police are tight-lipped about what led to the shooting, but friends of the rapper, who were too scared to speak on camera, tell us they think she was targeted, and witnesses agree.
He was targeting her only. I saw it. He wasn't shooting at everybody. He was just shooting at her.
I think
involved in something you're not supposed to do, connected with an ex-boyfriend, business dealing going bad. When somebody is targeting you and they shoot you in broad daylight and they walk up to you and they let off multiple different shots and take your life and you're a woman.
I think the rapper was screaming, I'm hit, and she was just laying on the ground until the medics came.
Police say a second person was also shot but survived. A friend of the rapper, Ernest Holloway, who's seen here in this video with her, says she will be missed in the local music community.
She was very passionate, just very driven to be successful at what she did.
Rapper Mr. Fab declined an interview but says she was like a little sister to him. He posted on Instagram he will always remember her as a hustling go-getter with a world of ambition, drive, and courage, and a heart big as Texas. He says he was planning to attend the same event, but says God had other plans.
I'm going to be honest with you. I started getting suspicious when people say, God had other, I was going to go, but God had other plans for me. I got a phone call at the last minute. Not saying that it's anything that's his fault. Not saying that he did anything in particular. All I'm saying is when people start missing at the time when somebody else get killed, I start getting a little bit more suspicious and I want to know exactly what's going on. Again, not accusing them of anything. I'm just saying the way that my mind works. When somebody say God had other plans for me, when we was all supposed to go together and you was the only one missing and you the only one that survived.
Meanwhile, the business owners in the strip mall are hoping.
That's the only excuse that you got? Mama ain't getting to head to the hospital. Flight wasn't late. You ain't have a flat tire or nothing. You were supposed to go. You just decided at the last. Hell no. Hell no. Nope.
Gun violence.
Let me hear that again. Let me see the excuse.
Courage and a heart big as Texas. He says he was planning to attend the same event, but says God had other plans. Meanwhile, the business owners in the strip mall are hoping gun violence does not hit so close to home again.
I'm concerned about the safety of our customers. So if they don't feel safe, they won't come into the shop anymore, and that's kind of like bad for business as well. So, and this is
that it wasn't my turn, huh?
Oakland police say they are investigating the circumstances around the shooting. They're asking anyone with information to call them. Alex.
Somebody said, no, that's reaching. No, that's real. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, anybody that wasn't or was, everybody I'm looking at crooked and sideways. Everybody is a suspect. Everybody is a suspect until they're not a suspect for me, personally. When something happened, okay, all right. When something happened to you and you start paying attention around like, where was you at? Where was you at? Usually when something happens to you, it's the people that's closest to you. It's somebody that's in your inner circle. When we did that report earlier this week, it wasn't earlier this week, it was late last week, and we were talking about the home in Hollywood Hills where they broke into it and they just stole only the watches. They didn't go for nothing else. They didn't ransack the home. They knew exactly where the security is and all that. They know exactly what's going on. Man, I'm always skeptical. I'm always paying attention. They went and killed her. That's it. They ain't go after nobody else. And they let every bullet loose to make sure that it was over. And it was a girl. So it had to be something that somebody was into. Don't nobody just go up there and target you just for the sake of targeting you. I'm always vigilant. And I don't pay attention to the ops. When I walk past these people in the streets on a regular basis, I'm not tripping off of them. I mean, I keep my head on a swivel, but I'm not tripping off of them. When I walk past these people on a regular basis, I'm not tripping off of them. We walk down, we chilling, we having a good time and all of that. The people that I'm more concerned about is making sure that I keep my circle tight. The people that I already got is the people that I rock with. It's very difficult to get into the circle of friends at this point. We don't need no people going off crying, saying Anton didn't acknowledge me in the chat, but I'm a real one in real life. We don't need none of that no more. Next thing you know, they got 1,000 live streams on you. Okay, all right. Listen, once you cross me, once you do me dirty, and once you cross me, I'm out. I'm completely out. I'm completely removing myself. Once you cross me. Because see, before it was more visibility and before the money is what it is now. You know what I'm saying? Once I start seeing a red flag, I forgive you. I'm going to just go ahead and let you go. I'm more likely to get rid of you. I'm more likely to fire you if you see anybody that just so happened to disappear. Don't worry about it. We cool. We got an amicable split. I ain't tripping about it. I don't need to do business in the future. Once you show me a sign, once you show me certain signs, I'm going to pay attention to it. I got a daughter that I need to be kicking it with. I got a wife that I got to take care of. I got family that need me. I got employees that need their paycheck. We a whole economy out here. I'm not about to be sitting here going back and forth trying to figure out what your intentions are. Cool, you got it. You got it. And as long as you don't talk about me, I won't talk about you. But the minute that you talk about me, I'm going to have to defend myself. And then I'm going to go to hell with it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm cool with it. Let's have an amicable split. We good. You good. You good. You getting money. You making money. You taking care of business. I got you. I see you, big dog. Let's keep it moving. All right, let me go ahead and read some of these super chats, and then we're going to continue over with the show because we got a few more things that we need to tackle. Jamal Park says, I'm only 25, so maybe I just don't get it. I don't get it. Why was Obama so bad? The LGBTQ is bad, but didn't he lead us out of a recession? I was a kid back then. I don't know. Well, okay. So maybe I should just do a whole section on what my thoughts are on Obama because I don't think that Obama was horrible. That's the difference. Now, there's some people in the chat, Tia Marie, for example, is one of them, that will absolutely tell you that she don't necessarily like Obama. I don't think Obama was all bad, but I absolutely think that he did a lot of things that we look back on and we say, you know what? That might not have been the best play for us in particular. That legislation, I'm not really sure that made as much sense as we thought it did. You know what I'm saying? So I'll break down and I'll do a whole section. And I did this whole spiel and I did a whole soliloquy, but I got to keep time. I did a whole spiel and I did a whole soliloquy. I will give him a little bit of credit and say that he was handed a piece of S. He was handed a bag of bricks. I will say that. Coming out of 2008 or going into it, it was horrible. Going into 2009, it was absolutely, positively, for me in my lifetime, as a 26-year-old man at that time, it was a bad, bad situation. So I'm not going to absolutely throw 100% of what we were going through at that time on his shoulders because he inherited a lot of that from Bush. But he did do some bad things, in my opinion, that I don't agree with. And I can break that down in a future show. Actually, I'll break that down on the Anton Daniels channel on a new episode. Miss T. Jones is in the building, says, good morning, Bag Chasers. Shout out to Miss T. Jones. I appreciate you. I love you. High Tolerance says this hits different when you have an 82-year-old mom. He'd been yesterday's news a long time ago. High Tolerance also says we got to do better. Fab's supposed to be a Bay Area OG, but he's co-signing this. I don't think that Mr. Fab is co-signing any of this violence. I haven't heard of Mr. Fab saying anything negative. Mr. Fab, I will give Mr. Fab his credit. I think that he's been a very, very instrumental part in helping and promoting and doing great things in the community. So shout out to Mr. Fab out there in Oakland. Shout out to some of the people that's doing some great things. We rock with it. So let me go ahead and figure it out. Obama bailed out the bankers. No, it's not as simple as that. He bailed out the economy because he also bailed out the automakers. It's a lot of good and it's a lot of bad in my opinion. So it's mixed, but I think that it's interesting. I would have voted differently if I'd have voted, in hindsight, I would have voted differently today. Anyways, let's continue on with the show. So I got a thing that I want to get into towards the end of the show, so I'm going to save it. Damn, should I save it or should I go into it now? Let's go into it now. Let's pivot. Let's pivot. Somebody sent this to me, and it's a young gentleman, and let me just go ahead and bring him up. His name is, I haven't done a reaction video to any content creators in a while because we've been so consumed with the assassination attempt, the Republican National Convention. We had the debate that was popping off last week. So there's been a lot of things with regard to election 2024 and more pertinent things. So I haven't had a time to really deep dive into content creators or do any more reaction videos to those people that speak about things from a financial perspective or the economy or things like that. And we'll get into AI automation in a minute. We'll finish it off with that. But this man's name is Rashad Jackson. Rashad Jackson. We're just going to say Rashad. Rashad Jackson, as of the recording of this video, he has 224 subscribers. If you agree with him, if you rock with him, if you like what he's doing, then make sure that y'all go over there and say that, yo, I'm subscribing or I'm tapping in because Anton from AntonDaniels.com sent you. Regardless of whether we agree with him or not, all right? So somebody said that this young man right here, is speaking about how to run up a bag with Chase credit cards. So that instantly, sparked my interest because I'm like, it's such a bad idea to advocate for young people to get credit cards. I do not believe that young people need credit cards. I'm just going to say that right off the bat. Before I ever listen to one word that he says, I do not believe that young people need credit cards. I think that people need to learn financial literacy and understand most people are not even prepared to be adults and to be out on their own until they're 30 years old. I'm going to just be honest to God. Even if you get married and you are from a 2-parent household, some of y'all need to just stay home and live with y'all parents so y'all can understand what being successfully married looks like. Because y'all going out here, y'all running off, and y'all fumbling the bag, and I got to be real. I got to be real. So y'all talking about credit cards and everybody just automatically just became a financial guru and all of this stuff. So I'm going to watch it with you guys. I only watched the first minute to make sure that it was an authentic video, something that we could use. But I'm going to react to it and I'm going to watch it. So whether I agree with it or not, I always want to give credit to the content creators. Again, his name is Rashad Jackson. All right. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's see what he got to say.
Yo, man. It's your boy Sheesky here, man. Back with another banger video. And in today's video, You see in the back, bro. It's all about Chase, bro. Chase throws out that bag. Chase is a great institution. It's a big bank, but listen, they throw out that bag, your credit in order and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to tell y'all what cars I got and everything like that and how to get a bag. I got 3 of them with them. I got at least like 10K or 15K or something like that with them. So I'm going to show you how to do that in just 1 second. So let's hop right in. All right, bro. So like I said,
I can see where this is going. I at least got 10K or 15K or something like that. So you don't know how much. All right. Let's just give it a chance. Let's rock out. Let's give him an opportunity to explain to us exactly how to finesse, how to run up a bag with Chase credit cards, y'all.
Man, Chase is a great institution. It's a big bank, bro. They got so many cards, bro. Like, they got the Freedom Unlimited, Sapphire cards, bro. I want a Sapphire, bro. I don't got that right now. The cards I got right now is the Freedom Unlimited. I got the Amazon Prime Visa, and guess what I got? That Business Cash, bro. Yeah, I got all 3 of those cards, bro. Those cards are really good, and they're really good cards to get, bro. So if I was you and
Let me preface this by saying that, yes, I am a Sapphire Reserve member. All right? I am a Sapphire Reserve guy. All right? But the reason that I have this card is because I do so much business and I do so much traveling. You can't even rent a rental car. You can't even really book a hotel room if you do not have a credit card. Now, I generally spend the equivalent of, because I want y'all to understand that I am qualified to have these conversations. I generally spend the equivalent of, I don't know, I got to pull it up. I'll let this play while I pull it up.
Trying to get a card with Chase. The first thing I will tell y'all is Chase does have that 5/24 rule. That is big in Chase. It still exists. You know what I'm saying? Somebody had to figure out, you know, by learning, looking at credit boards and things of that nature. That 5/24 rule is in 2 years, which is 24 months, right? You cannot have more than 5 credit card accounts, and they will not approve you if you have more than that. So what I recommend y'all doing, if y'all finna credit stack, I'd be preaching that too, bro. You know, stacking credit cards, stuff like that. If you are going to credit card stack, make sure you do Chase in the beginning when you're first getting started so you can build that relationship with them. I also recommend building a relationship with them anyway. Like, I got a personal checking account with them. What I did was, when I was, you know, trying to actually get the card with them and stuff, like the first card I got was the Freedom Unlimited. When I wanted to do that, first thing I did was I came here and got a personal checking account. You know, banks like to see deposit, bro. That's one thing. That's the sauce right there. Banks like to see positive deposit going in. Like, you know, if you got a bank account, you do use it for like 3 to 6 months, bro. Just, you know, put some direct deposit with y'all job. I know most of y'all working and stuff. Do direct deposit for like 6 months, bro. They'll approve you for a card, bro. But that 5/24 rule is going to be crucial with Chase, bro. They got a lot of great cards, bro. On their personal side, the easiest one I seen to get approved was Freedom Unlimited. You know, some people do different ones, so like that, but the Freedom Unlimited is not that hard to get approved, bro. I think you get 12 months, or no, it's actually 15 months, 0% interest. That's one thing I like to stress to y'all too. You shouldn't be out here trying to get no cards that don't have a 0% interest offer. It doesn't make sense for you, because I preach using credit to invest.
I don't know what's going on
and
either,
to use
y'all.
credit to invest, you have a 0% interest offer. You can't invest anything, and in a month you got to pay 24%. Do y'all see these interest rates on these credit cards? I see them. Y'all see them too, bro. They're insane. Y'all, and that's how I preach it. You got to invest with it. You can't just get these cards and just try to use them, because you'll get stuck in a debt loop. And I don't like getting in debt loop, bro. So yeah, first thing you do, make sure you get a 0% interest offer with a card, and most of their cards do and everything like that.
This is so silly.
Some data points with your credit and everything like that. Like I said, I think Chase is pretty, like, it's a big bank, bro. It's a little bit strict, bro. So you need to make sure that y'all have, you know, I preach no collection. You can get them sweet though. I know how to get them sweet too, bro. Y'all can join my mentorship. So try not to have no collections. No.
I'm getting a headache, y'all. Honest to God, I'm genuinely getting a headache. Listen, yo. Listen. How you going to be in your 20s having a mentor group? How can you be a life coach and y'all don't even have no businesses? We ain't even gotten to the fundamentals. We ain't started talking about whether or not you need to make sure that you increase your income. Y'all talking about running up a credit profile and a credit stack. Look, you don't need credit from a traditional credit cards, getting all of this stuff. The fastest way for you to build your credit profile, which I'm not even a person that want to tell y'all this type of information because I don't want y'all on no finesse loop, all right? The fastest way for you to build a credit profile is to first make sure that you are added as an authorized user. You can be added as an authorized user to somebody that have a long credit history. Go to your father, go to grandma, go to mama, whatever. And it doesn't mean that you need to have a credit card. You just want to be added as a person that is an authorized user for somebody that has a long credit history with a low credit utilization rate. And as long as they have a low credit utilization rate and they got that long history, then you are automatically extended credit. You don't need no cosigner. You don't need nobody to vouch for you. Just tell them, hey, can I be added as an authorized user? You don't even have to give me a card. Then you build the credit profile. What do you need a credit profile for? So that you can qualify for some of the things that you need to do on a daily basis. Not for some of the stuff that you don't need. Some of y'all just need to go and get a hoopty. But maybe they want to run your credit in order to make sure that you're a good renter and you get in your first place. Maybe you need some extra boost and you don't have any student loans. You paid off your debt. You took care of your business. And so as a result, you want to get a credit profile and you want to line up and move all of this. Trade lines, absolutely. You can absolutely tap into a trade line. But when we talking about a credit stack, you talking about giving people access to money that don't even know how to manage money, right? Meaning that credit is supposed to be for you to expand something that you're already doing. So I'll give you an example. If you are a person that's running a successful business, right, and it's successful, and it's a reason why the bank go in and they then qualify you of whether or not you should be a person that should be a part of this anyway. But if you're running a successful business and you're trying to expand that because you're limited by the amount of money that you can make by the capacity that you have, then you can tap in a certain credit in order to be able to do so. But credit is made for the banks to benefit, not you. It's a reason why when we look at all of the trillions of dollars in credit and how much money people owe and more people are filing for bankruptcy every single day, they all had the same idea. They all had the same idea. Hey man, I'm gonna get some credit. I'm gonna use that in order to start trading. I'm gonna run up my profile. Man, listen, you're gonna be wind up paying 25% in interest, 28% in interest. You're gonna be paying an egregious amount of interest. You're not gonna be able to keep up. The amount of money, listen. First of all, before they even qualify you for a certain amount in credit, you have to have a certain amount in income. So we just skipped a whole step, all right? We skipped a whole step. We ain't talking about income. We ain't talking about responsibly managing debt. We ain't talking about elimination of debt. We ain't even talking about points. All y'all saying is, man, get some access to some capital, get some access to some capital, get some access to capital. You're going to run yourself into the ground and you're going to mess up your name for the next 7 to 8 years until you file for bankruptcy. Why do y'all need so much funding? If somebody come to me and they say, hey man, I need some funding or I need some, okay, well, what do you need funding for? Same thing that the banks say. How does Anton know this? Because I've been in the banking for literally almost a decade now. I've been in the banking for a decade now. And so it's not about your card stack. It's not about your credit profile. It's being a responsible adult that allows for you to be able to leverage a good credit history or a good profile or a good job history or smartly managing your money to increase your net worth. Credit does not increase your net worth. Credit gives you access to capital that you're probably not even responsible enough to use. And what is this mentorship thing? What are y'all talking about, man?
No late payments, none of that stuff on your credit. Stuff like that, helps you get approved with this stuff. I think when I got my Chase car, I was at like maybe I think I was at 670. So, I always was sitting pretty good when I got approved. You want to be on the higher end so you don't get denied. That's the thing. So if y'all need to take the time and build y'all credit up, do that as well. Like
everybody don't need a profile,
sit here
y'all.
and just try to keep applying for cars knowing your credit is shot. If you're 300, 400, 500 scores, bro, it's not going to happen, bro. And it's easy to fix it. You can get those inquiries. You can get the inquiries wiped. You can get the collections, taken off, the charge off and stuff. You can get all that removed. It just
listen. Here's my question: how did you get the collections in the first place? How did you get in the position? People that got a whole bunch of collections probably are not in a position to where they need to be going and applying for a credit card. I'm just saying. if you are in a position to where you got a whole bunch of collections, you probably are not in a position to where you need a whole bunch of credit cards. I'm just being honest with you. For real, I'm being honest with you. I can share y'all my stuff right now. I have no problems with sharing it with you. And so you're not talking to somebody that don't know what they're talking about. Let me go ahead and get my screen up here. Give me a second. Boo-doo-doo. I got to make sure that my stuff ain't showing. Let's make sure that your stuff ain't showing, TanDaGod. Let's only do this one and remove that one. All right, so this is my credit spending so far. Where is, okay, we can scroll down. Pull that down. All right, there we go. Let me expand that. So this is my stuff from Chase specifically, and this is the actual the Sapphire card. In July, I've spent $7,000. For June, did it take June? Save on June. So June, I spent $33,000. Actually, it shows it all right here. June, we spent $33,000. May, we spent over $30,000. Let me just pull up May real quick. Let's just do for the year. How about that? In 2024. So 2024 so far this year, I spent $222,000. My yearly average is about $469,000 or $470,000 in spending. And so that's how much I spend in a year. But in order to even get in this position, because I've never, ever paid interest in my entire life. I've never, ever paid interest in my entire life. And so before you even get to the point to where you can then get to where you spending somewhere around $450,000 a year, you got to be making over $1 million a year. You don't want to be in a position to where, okay, on average, he's spending $470,000 a year on a card alone, but how can you prevent yourself from being able to pay interest? Also, a lot of the equipment that I got inside of this studio, this very Mac studio, that most expensive one, this big Mac monitor came as a result of all of the points that I was able to acquire and accumulate from spending all of this money. I build whole houses. I buy big, you know what I'm saying, couches, furnitures for the studio. We do a lot of traveling. We do meetups. You see what I'm saying? So when we start to go into and we start to break down exactly why you need credit, in order for you to get there, it's not about how long you had it or whatever. The first thing you got to do is you got to have an income to be able to support it. If you working at Amazon or you working at the plant, how you going to be able to pay it off? Spending money on stuff that you can't even control. How you going to wind up paying it off when you don't have the income to be able to do so? What's the point of getting credit? Okay, so I can qualify for this. You can qualify for a car that you can't pay for. What's the point? You want to see the back of the card? You got your pen and paper? So it's very important for y'all to qualify the person that y'all talking to and not just be sitting here talking nonsense respectfully. And I know he's a content creator. I know he's trying to get his subscribers up and all of that type of stuff. But you got to be able to qualify yourself because very few people can actually show you. And there's people that spend way more than me. They spend way more than $470,000 a year on their cards.
Do that stuff. And I got that in my mentorship. So that's definitely something y'all gonna need if y'all trying to get into this. Yeah, that Freedom Unlimited though, bro. I think it got like a lot of cash back and all that kind of stuff like that. And that's why I appreciate getting Chase, because Chase have a lot of good introductory offers too, because their cards, bro, like they'll say, hey man, if you spend like $1,000, we'll give you like, $500 or something like that. And that's what I like about the Chase cards too. They have like one of the best welcome bonuses, bro. And don't be like too crazy. Maybe like $2,000. Like spend $2,000 in the course of like 3 or 6 months, bro.
Gotta wipe
that
your
ain't
mouth
bad,
on the
bro.
side,
They don't be
big dog.
talking about. I hear some of these business credit cards out here, bro, or like these big bank ones. It could be regular personal cards too. They be talking about you got to spend $10,000 in 6 months. Now that's a lot. Now spending $2K, $3K, that's nothing crazy. Y'all spend that anyway, and that's the thing. A good rule of thumb when y'all are getting these cars, yeah, like I said, if y'all don't have a business to invest in right there, but you shouldn't be getting cars unless you got a business to invest in. But if you're just getting it for credit building purposes only, like to have them show positive payments, make sure y'all pay these cars off every month. I can't stress that enough. Every single month, pay your balance off. Because like I said, that debt is something, like I said, I got some credit card debt, bro. I'm gonna be real with y'all, but I learned the game off of having some credit card debt.
How you gonna have credit card debt, which means that you don't have the income to be able to pay it off completely, but you want them to tap into your mentorship group to get advice from you on how they should be able to finesse the system in order to get debt, to get credit cards. How y'all listen to what we talking about respectfully. And again, I'm reacting to this in real time. How you gonna have credit card debt, admittedly, and not and be mentoring other people on how it is that they supposed to be managing their stuff? Come on, man.
You know, don't just buy stupid stuff, man. What I recommend you doing, because once you start getting these high limit cars with like Chase and stuff like that, bro, you need to like just buy stuff you know I'm gonna buy. To hit your welcome bonus, I say like pay your rent. You know what I'm saying? It's a way to pay your rent. So
listen. I'm not the sharpest knife in the tool shed, but I will tell you this. If you wind up paying your rent with your credit card, they're going to charge you additional fees to do that. So now you're paying them for the privilege to be able to pay your rent with a credit card. Most places, 9.9 out of 10 places do not allow for you to pay your rent with a credit card unless you're paying an additional fee, a huge transaction fee that comes along with it. What is the point of doing that? Why are y'all giving away free money in order to be able to have the privilege, to have the opportunity to be able to use a credit card? It's just stupid, bro. Never pay your rent with a credit card, bro. Pay your rent, not with a credit card.
Website, I got that in my mentorship too. You pay your rent with your credit card. You do that. Like stuff you're already gonna do anyway. Buy groceries, buy gas. Don't just be buying clothes and shoes and all that kind of stuff. And that stuff is not gonna help you, bro. I had to learn that the hard way, man. This credit game ain't no joke, bro. It's a lot of opportunity here, but the credit game ain't no joke. And then like if you're trying to get the business approval, you need to have a good established LLC and you personal guarantee. That's why I like the business credit.
All right, y'all. I've seen enough. If y'all want to, if y'all want to go and check out his channel, go to Rashid Jackson at 224 subscribers. Go and check him out. Shout out to all of the fellow content creators. You never know. One day he can wind up becoming a financial guru. But as of right now, big dog, I think that you need to go ahead and learn some things and just kind of document you trying to get your life together. We need to focus on getting our incomes up. We need to focus on being responsible, eliminating our debts. Credit is for suckers, bro, in a lot of ways. Credit is for suckers, all right? Last but not least, I want to deep dive into this AI automation taking over the food industry because we know over in California, they out there paying people $20+ an hour in order to hand over hamburgers. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's get to it. I'm going to read that super chat shortly.
From apps for fast food and food delivery to self-checkout and self-service kiosks, your favorite grocery stores and fast food chains are changing fast. Popular franchises like McDonald's plan to invest $2 billion into bringing AI and robots into stores and drive-thrus in 2024. In 2022, American grocery stores spent $13 billion on tech automations. The Food Industry Association expects spending on things like smart carts and revamped self-checkout aisles to grow 400% through 2025.
What they really doing is they eliminating the need for you to be an employee messing up orders and then getting your head cracked in Popeyes because you was arguing with a customer. It eliminates liability, it eliminates costs, And so they're willing to spend $2 billion in 2024 to ultimately make more money long term and to prevent you from taking money out of their pockets by then causing them or advocating for or advertising, hey, we want $25 an hour. It's the same thing in every industry. The automotive industry, you can see if you look at it and you compare it from 1980 all the way up until now. Here, I'll check it out. Let me see if I can pull it up. 1980 all the way up until now. Jobs and automotive industry. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, specifically Detroit's automotive industry, American-born logistics professionals may remember news about Detroit's decline in the 1980s, 1970s, Japan. Automotive industry employed over 900,000 in 2018, 900,000 manufacturing jobs. Is way less than that now. And in 2018. Hold on, let me see if I can pull that up. I don't know if I could pull that up right away. Let me just continue to play this real quick.
Well, automation is playing a bigger role in fast food, and it will play a bigger role still. The problem is, with minimum wage hikes in places like California, with other cost pressures still coming through, it's very expensive now to run a fast food business. And whilst fast food retailers have tried to remedy that by passing on prices to customers, customers, of course, don't like that, and volumes go down.
Americans are spending an average of $475 a month on groceries. Over the last decade, menu prices at most major fast food restaurants have outpaced national inflation rates, according to research from Finance Buzz. Popular fast food items like McDonald's McChicken and McDouble, Popeye's mashed potatoes and gravy, Taco Bell's Chalupa Supreme, and
they say that jobs dropped just from 1981 to 1990. It lost 600,000 workers from 1981 to 1990. It dropped from 1.6 million workers to 1 million workers from 1981 to 1990. Ditto for the steel industry. Ditto for the fast food industry across the board. Jobs has been basically going down, and we no longer make things inside the United States of America. Why? Because it's too expensive to do so. And so it's much easier for them to invest in technology and automation, which don't get your order wrong. They can invest in technology and automation and then completely eliminate the need for workers, for regular everyday workers, which used to be a high school job. They can eliminate that need in order to save money because they know that states like California is going to absolutely ruin the whole industry in the first place.
Wendy's Small Frosty have all doubled in price since 2014. Executives on earnings calls have taken notice of the high prices and have noted their growth in tech as a way to drive down prices and remain profitable.
If we're doing a good job on the items and prices and the service we provide, saving them money with pickup and delivery, for example, we can continue to grow share. So we're merchants at the core, and we've added through the technological changes that we've made and the service changes that we've made a dimension to the business that's driving that growth.
We're also investing for long-term growth in areas like digital and technology, as well as our transformation efforts within our global business services organization. By leveraging the full strength of our global scale, we'll build new and modern capabilities and ultimately unlock speed and innovation for our entire McDonald's system.
So on that earnings call, what he's basically telling the investors and people that are shareholders in McDonald's, which I plan on going over in Stock Club, in the upcoming Stock Club, what he's basically saying is, listen, saying it without saying it, a lot of these jobs, the increased cost that is basically eating into our profits is a lot of these legislators are requiring for us to pay these workers a lot more money, which we then have to pass on to the consumer. The consumer is saying that we can't absorb these costs because inflation is already too high and the cost of eating is already too high and the cost of materials is already too high. And so because they passing the cost over to the consumers, we're no longer as profitable as we could be. And so a lot of these franchisees are shutting down, they closing locations, the rents are higher. So your costs are going up, including labor, because the biggest cost that you're going to have is labor. But they can't stomach passing that on to the consumer anymore. So what do? You continue to innovate. You remove the people that are causing you the most money, and you start putting in kiosks, you start doing automation, you start doing automatic fry machines. And so what did take 5 workers really only take 1. And now it's getting to the point to where you basically only gonna have a store manager and then people that come in and try to repair the machines if you have an issue, instead of having actual workers service the customers. And now we've also adapted as customers because we don't even like the fact that we got to deal with people anymore. We don't like it no more. Dealing with a person that's going to get a bad attitude and they expect for you to tip, because you know y'all don't like to tip. You know y'all don't like to tip. Y'all hate tipping anyway. And they require every time you go up to a machine, they keep having, hey, how much do you want to tip? Machines don't have to take tips. Machines don't take tips. They just go ahead and do what you're supposed to do.
The American consumer is starting to pull back on spending, and rising food and labor costs are causing the food industry to invest more into automation to lower labor costs and improve sales, in order to stay competitive and take advantage of shifting consumer tastes.
So the answer
mentioned earlier in 2024, the same companies are now rolling out smart carts. Amazon is now selling grocers its Dash carts, and this is a smart cart by Caper Carts, which Instacart acquired in 2021. The carts are in large chains like Kroger and ShopRite.
What's powerful about Caper is all the sensors on the device. So there's the camera sensors that look at the basket, there's the weights and measures certified sensor, and then there's the location sensor. And so what retailers are excited about is leveraging those sensors to make sure that they know exactly what's inside the shopping cart. And so, for example, even if somebody were to hide an item, for example, and put it into the cart, we know with certainty that with the weights and measures scale, that something went into the cart.
Instacart also says the carts help customers stay within their grocery budgets.
By having the running total, they're able to ensure that they stay on budget. There's no apprehension that when you get to the checkout line, you're over budget and you have to put things back. We're also seeing that customers really love the deals, the coupon clipping capabilities on the cart.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg in the fast food sector. McDonald's and Cali Express have opened fully autonomous stores that operate without human staff.
Crazy.
Because labor is one of the biggest costs for fast food players.
Cali Express parent company Yum Brands has even developed a training app for employees.
We've developed an internal mobile app called Super App that we've rolled out to over 9,000 restaurants across the world. And what
Did y'all hear what they said? McDonald's is already testing. Listen, if McDonald's have a fully automated, if McDonald's wind up coming out with a fully automated version of their restaurant, I'll invest as a franchisee. I'm already looking to get back into the fast food industry in the first place. I'll invest as a franchisee if McDonald's comes out with an automated store to where it basically eliminates all of the workers. I'll invest as a franchisee myself.
It's like having a digital coach in your pocket that helps our restaurant general managers identify areas that can continue to reduce costs of running a restaurant, coach team members in being able to do their job more efficiently, and really providing an overall better experience for us to make sure that there aren't any waste in inventory.
The company's full portfolio includes popular food chains like Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, and KFC, and is heavily investing in automation. Its digital business is booming, with its digital sales accounting for 50% of sales in Q1 of 2024, a first for the company.
Where we can test any concept in a market, partner with a large tech giant, and be able to test things like AI and Gen AI with their franchisees. And where test results have shown is that when customers interact with that voice AI, we're at parity when it comes to accuracy. We're at parity.
They already done replaced y'all. They already testing y'all replacements. That's why they're not tripping. They're going to comply for a little bit over there in California. And then now they're going to replace y'all because they ain't worried about it. They already got the technology exists. All they're doing is they just got to test it and make sure that it works so that they can roll it out and implement it to everybody else. You already replaced. It's over. You thought that you won a victory. You thought that you was going to get your $25 an hour. You're not even going to be, it's not even going to be up there. They'd rather build and replace an entirely new fleet of staff and an entire new restaurant than sit there and give you $25 an hour while you sitting there whining like a liberal lifty. I agree, Molly. just happened? Why my mic go out? Anyways, let me go ahead and read some of these super chats, and then I got to tap into this meeting for corporate America. See, I caught it this time. The only reason that the mic is still, or this camera is still facing this way instead of facing that way, is because I got some guests possibly coming in today, some really, really big famous guests possibly coming in today that I got to do an interview with. So I'm just going to leave everything set up to make it easier for me to interview. I'm with it. I ain't miss. I'm with it. I already caught it. High Tolerance is in the building. High Tolerance says, pull little homie under your wing. Nope. You need to join the bag chasers like everybody else. Help reduce shrinkage as well. You know, Keisha's been throwing Pookie some extras. Shout out to High Tolerance. I appreciate you. Dion Sardine says fast food apps and kiosks have totally replaced all fast food cashiers for real, for real. That's a fact. And then Florida Panoramic is in the building and says we need to discuss the best AI companies for the chasers. I can put that together. I don't have no problem with that. Shout out to Florida Panoramic. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Again, I dropped a new video inside of the Patreon today for you guys to be able to tap into. I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. I like it. I like fried rice. G says, what it do, AD? You get your 30 mil yet? I'm working on it. We're going to get ours the hard way. You know what I'm saying? Listen, make sure y'all tap into After Hours tonight. Shout out to my girl Molly in the building. Says, keep it up. I appreciate you for the super sticker, and thank you for tapping into the platform yesterday. And then also Spaces says there's a fully automated McDonald's in Fort Worth. Really? I'm going to visit it. I might have to take a trip over to Fort Worth just to see it when we go over there for the Houston meetup. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Watch the video that I just dropped this morning. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm out. Peace.